All right. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year.
All right. Another episode of OPP, Only Pools Podcast here. Celebrating New Year's. It's New Year's Day, 2025. We're actually going to date this video.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's coming up next.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You ever go swimming? Man, it's so much fun. Now we got a podcast joining everyone. Talking about pools, the stories we share. From backyard splashing to Olympic fair. We got chlorine, pH, and filter tips. Keep your pool fresh, avoiding no slips. With hosts so cool and guests so neat. We're dropping pool knowledge that it can't be beat. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. Only Pools Podcast. Let's go.
All right. So, yeah, Happy New Year, man. It's New Year's Day. Got a lot of new stuff coming for this upcoming year. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that happened previous year in 2024.
What a whirlwind.
Glad that it's over. It was something. But I guess when you're in business, there's always something that's going to be going on. So you just take them as they come. So, yeah, 2024 was definitely an adventure. You know, just from us moving into this new building that we're in 7 months ago. In 7 months, we kind of outgrew it with our construction side. So we've got another building now for them so that they can keep all their vehicles in. And, we have a warehouse over there so we can store stuff.
We should do a little tour one of these days.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But we got to clean up a little bit first.
It is a warehouse, so
yeah,
in a truck yard. So it's not be very glamorous, but it is what it is. Just kind of document the growth of AquaServ as we continue. Every year, I get together with all the service techs and employees, and we talk about. I bring everybody up to speed because we have new people, so I tell them how we began versus where we are right now. I know sales and stuff. Every year we've pretty much doubled in sales. Yeah. Or up a third, I guess I should say. We went from 1 million to 2 million to 3 million. Over the last 3 years for revenue. I'm sure that a large part of that revenue this year came from the hurricanes.
I think that's every pool company out here.
Yes, yeah. If you didn't make money out of the storms, you're doing it wrong and get out of the business right now.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be there if you weren't able to adapt and do the thing that you need to do. I know a lot of single pullers that went out of business because they lost their accounts.
I didn't think that.
If they didn't do commercials or if they're not licensed to do certain work, if they're only cleaning, they're out of luck. There's nothing else we can do. They just lost everything. And in that aspect, I guess, I feel for those guys. I was a single puller at one time, and that would have probably crippled me too. I'm pretty persistent, so I would have found another way around. But yeah, so we had the 2 hurricanes this year. We had a storm the previous year, but that was nothing compared to what we experienced this one. I learned a lot. We did over 140 draining acid washes in 2 months. We're still doing draining acid washes on pools that were flooded. We found out about barnacles and how they grow in a pool very quickly.
That was weird. Yeah. Yep. I've never seen that.
Yeah, the storm the year before, we got into all the pools that needed it quick enough that the barnacles never grew, so I didn't know what to expect. Now we know how to get them off, and we know that it does leave a residue behind that I guess only time will tell if that residue disappears.
The barnacle leaves it behind.
Yep. Yeah, it's like the slime
that's gross.
Coating or whatever that was made it attach. It's still there after we scrape them off. We learned that, during storms, fuel becomes a big problem, getting fuel to be able to start back up.
Yeah.
So next year we will accommodate for that. Yeah, so, we've learned quite a bit. And now we're prepared. When the storms came and I knew that we're going to have, over 100 draining acid washes to do, I bought everything I could get my hands on, pump-wise.
And that was hard enough.
We went as far as Pennsylvania. One of our managers happened to be up there when the storms happened.
Oh, yeah.
And he brought back 15 pumps because our local warehouse had run out temporarily. I was glad I was proactive in that way. We spent $80,000 buying pumps and equipment that we knew was going to have to be replaced leading up to the storms and after. So, our office showroom was just packed with stuff for a long time. Finally got it cleared out.
I even went to our supplier,
Mhm.
and you were like, okay, there's 2 there, pick up 2 more on the way there. You were like, if there's 4, pick up 4 more. And then by the time I got there, I was like, they have 11 left.
Right.
I was like, what do we get? And he's like, come back with. I think I came back with 8.
Yeah,
But
we,
it was like
we were
2
courteous.
each.
We didn't take all of them
But
for ourselves. We didn't want to hoard and kind of mess up other companies. But we bought everything we could get our hands on. It was something.
But I was like one of 6 trucks out there just loading up pumps.
Yep. I know. I looked at Jessica. I was like, "Hey, break out the emergency credit card. Because we sure gonna be able to pay back today." I was like, "I'm positive."
Yeah.
and we did, and we were just because that need was there, and still, like I said, we're still repairing equipment for a lot of commercial properties. Full equipment things. So we learned about supply and demand for gas and equipment. What else did we learn? I'm the owner of about 12 trash pumps in order to drain these pools. So I hired 8 people during the storms, and that was their only job, is to go do drain and acid washes. We were on track, doing pretty good, averaging 2 pools a day per crew, 2-person crew. So I had 4 crews out every day doing that. So that was interesting. Hopefully, I still have all the people that we hired. Just moved them over to my construction crew, and God forbid it happens again, which we hope it doesn't, not for another 100 years. But if it does, we've all done it before. We know what to expect, and it should be a lot smoother sailing, in the future. But I think we did a good job overall. One mistake that we made, and it wasn't intentional, is we had a client that after the storm, they had lost everything. Their whole house was flooded. They lost all their furniture. Most of the furniture ended up in their pool, in their screened-in area. And instead of the, being sensitive to what just happened to them, we were kind of trying to be proactive and say, hey, your pool got flooded. Do you want to drain your nest wash it? And it came off entirely the wrong way. We didn't mean it to come off like, oh, we're here to make money off of you because of the storm. It was never meant like that. But we learned,
how to be.
Now every question was, how are you and your family? Because we do care. Our clients are like our family. They're why we're here. Right. But just that first client, one of our people on the phone just came out with that question without asking how they were first. And so we quickly learned, because we immediately lost that client. Deservingly so. I mean, I would have too. I mean, but
it's a bummer.
We were so geared on how do we fix our problems.
Right.
We forgot to put the human emotion back into it. So that was my biggest lesson, I think, that I learned. We did a training a few weeks ago, learning how to build waterfalls using concrete, and we can do outdoor kitchens. We can do
looks awesome.
A lot of cool stuff. We can do ponds. We can do decking now, fire pits.
They did whole retaining walls and bridges over
a pond.
Yeah.
Yep.
That stuff is cool.
So we're excited about that for this coming year. Getting some of those projects in and doing those, as well as we're going to be building new pools here for 2025. That's cool. New to us. So we brought on a guy who's got 18 years experience building pools up in Georgia as a project manager. So he's going to be leading us with that division in 2025. Nice. And you get the pleasure of designing them.
Yeah. It is fun doing those.
The guy here does all of our 3D graphic designs for Pool Studio, which is awesome. So the customer gets to see what they're going to get before they actually get it. Helps them make a decision, and then they can tweak it and make changes and add this, add that.
I just want to add fire to everything.
Yeah.
There's so many cool fire features.
Well, now that we do waterfalls, I feel like the software is a little limited on the type of waterfalls we can put in.
Just put in a fire pit.
We already have our first build scheduled, so that's going to be fun. We're going to start that in January. Looking forward to that, and we'll take you on the journey and video the steps and progress to it.
Yes.
Maybe we can get a camera that is recording
GoPros
the whole time.
Time lapse it.
Time lapse the whole thing would be pretty cool. We're finishing up some training on a couple new techs. These guys actually came from another company, so they already had some base knowledge. We'll just beat out their bad habits. Get them on board with the right way to do pools.
Yes.
And next year it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to another great year. When I started looking at my numbers for the year, what we spent on what, we spent a lot of money.
Yes, we did.
So of course I'd like to change that if I can. biggest thing I think is like, I noticed I spent probably $16,000 just in recruitment for staff.
Oh yeah.
And that surprised the heck out of me what that number was. That's what it's paid Indeed alone. So yeah, that's a lot. So I'd like to work on our turnover. I know we lost a couple people here and there just because of life happens.
Yeah.
They go on different adventures or different paths in life. So pools may not be permanent. I know one thing we did change. We changed their pay scale and how they get paid, and now they have a lot more opportunity to make more money from the company.
Yes.
Which was I've been working on for 6 months. So I think that's going to help a lot with retention, as well as production from us, and being able to provide better service, quicker service. I know that's the biggest complaint that I hear from customers when I go talk to them to give them quotes is, hey, I called this company, but they never called me back, or they're supposed to do my repair 2 weeks ago and I haven't heard from them. So can you get it? Well, usually we get it in 3 to 4 days, done what they've been waiting weeks for, and I want to take that 3 to 4 days down to 1 to 2 days. Hey, we go out, we see you got a problem, let's fix it the same day or the very next. I don't want there to be a week lag between.
Should be done within a week. Yes. That would be.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to changing, for next year. So staffing and our response times are the biggest things that I want to see change, just to level us up, make us be the best that we can be.
Heck yeah.
So that's what it's all about.
I definitely would like to see what we can do as far as build wise. That's what I'm more excited about, 2025.
Yeah, I expect a lot of some of the bigger companies will take. I'll name a name because they're a great reputable company. Cody Pools. They're one of the largest builders of pools in the pool industry in the country, not just around here. But they're doing, and in this area, they're averaging anywhere from 20 to 40 pools a month for builds. Great for them that they got the infrastructure to handle it, and they do 99% of the time their pools come out fantastic. Every job that you do in construction, something's going to go wrong.
Right.
You just expect that. But we're going to stay a lot smaller scale in our building. If I do 12 pools in a year, I'm happy. Now those 12 pools will probably be larger projects, at a time. Mm-hmm. That include a waterfall and outdoor kitchen and, out landscaping, whatever, pavers and travertine. It'll be a big project, not just, the smaller ones. We'll still do the smaller ones, of course. But as far as new builds, I'm only expecting 10 to 12 in our first year. And I'll be just fine with that.
That way we can focus on every little detail. Right.
Like, I know that I've heard from friends of mine that are in the business, some customers will get ignored, or they don't get told what's happening with their project. Right. So, like, for instance, when you shoot the concrete of a pool, you have 30 days before you can do very much else. You can't, that concrete has to cure before you can put a surface on it. So for 30 days, there's very little work happening.
Yeah.
So, one of the things we're going to do that I think will be better is we'll be able to give all of our attention to that one project. We're not going to work on 2 projects at one time. Right. We're going to do one project, finish it, and then we can move on to the second one.
I like that, yeah.
And that way we can give the client all of our attention. There's nothing or nobody distracting us from getting a job done. So, and we're looking forward to a lot more podcasts this year. We're going to get some newer, better, brighter equipment in here to help us make us look a little better.
Yeah.
Do we have that fat reducer ordered yet? So,
I'm sure
I can look a little
software somewhere.
Little thinner. Maybe
just
that'll help.
chisel us.
Yeah, get some abs. That'd be pretty awesome. Where's the AI at for that?
There's probably something out there. I bet there is.
Yeah, probably. So, well, anyway, thanks for joining us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And as always, just keep swimming.
I'll put in fake.
Oh,
confetti.
Yeah. There you go.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You ever go swimming, man? It's so much fun. Now we got a podcast joining everyone. Talking about pools, the stories we share. From backyard splashing to Olympic fair. We got chlorine, pH, and filter tips. Keep your pool fresh, avoiding no slips. With hosts so cool and guests so neat. We're dropping pool knowledge that it can't be beat. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last last homie. Dive into discussions, no topics too small. From kiddie pools to water parks, we cover it all. We got pool parties and cannonballs too. If it's about water, we talking to you. Interviews with experts and stories to share. From poolside barbecues to water care. We got tips and tricks to keep your pool right. Listen in the morning or at the late night. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. O is for only, the best place to be. P is for pools, come dive in with me. P is for podcast, we talking weekly. Only Pools Podcast, the one and only. Grab your goggles and your floaties too. Tune in to our show, we got stuff for you. Poolside chats to aquatic news. Only Pools Podcast, you can't refuse. We teach you how to clean, how to keep it clear. The best pool stories that you'll ever hear. From summer fun to maintenance prep. Only Pools Podcast, we're your best bet. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. Only Pools Podcast. Let's go.